Howdy, cruisers. All right, let's talk about the current controversy in cruising, and that's Royal Caribbean's decision to ban multi-plug outlets. This is something that I find curious and I'm kind of interested in, but ultimately don't care about, because this is a device that I have never even conceived of bringing on a cruise or anywhere else, to a theme park, on a trip, or anything, simply because I don't need it. And I'm just really wondering why people find these such indispensable devices. Now, I understand if you are an edge case and do have a need, such as a medical device, a CPAP, or a portable oxygen generator, that's fine. Let the cruise line know, preferably ahead of time so they know, and they will make arrangements to provide either an extension cord or maybe a multi-plug outlet, who knows, so that you can run the device when you need to. So that's not a problem, but for everybody else, is it just that we have accumulated a whole bunch of technical gizmos that constantly need to be plugged in, running, or charging to just manage our daily life? Granted, I do have the things that I bring with me, but, you know what? I'm good. I don't need a multi-plug outlet. I'm going to show you what I use in a few minutes. But the rest of you, what are you plugging into these so many outlets? Or what do you need to plug in to so many outlets? Now, I kind of understand if there's a stateroom with 2 or 3 chicks involved okay. If there's a stateroom with several ladies sharing the accommodation, they might want to use hair dryers, straighteners, curlers, all this kind of stuff, at the same time. And that takes, 5 minutes, and you can't just wait? I actually don't know the answer to this question, so I'm kind of asking. If anyone does want to enlighten me on why people need so many plugs, yes, I would actually like to know. Now, for me, the more interesting question is not that they did this, because again, I don't care. It's why, and why now? These have not been a problem since forever. Now, I understand the prohibition on surge-protected devices. That's totally fine, but these things, they're not electronic or anything like that. They're just multi-plug outlets. So I'm just curious, what could have happened that precipitated this? And, thinking about how these corporations operate, it could just be that they're tracking something and noticed a trend of something that they don't like the circuits tripping on a number of staterooms. So if people are using these little devices and they do try to plug in multiple hair dryers or multiple other things and you trip a circuit, okay, that's what it's for. That is the safety mechanism. It's not really dangerous, but now you got to call and let them know you have no power and they need to send somebody to open the cabinet to flip the breaker. And maybe this started happening more often, or maybe they started tracking it and asked the stateroom attendant to peek and see if anything is going on. And they noticed a correlation between reset breakers and multi-port outlets and said, okay, they're a problem. We can't have that. It's also possible that this is only an issue on some of the older ships, right? Older ships, older wiring, who knows? I kind of doubt it's an issue on Icon of the Seas, but they can't make this specific to certain ships. I don't know that they would want to reveal anything like that, so they just say, okay, that's it. Fleet-wide, no more multi-plug outlets. And I'm also pretty sure that this did not cause an actual incident like, I don't know, a fire, because we would have heard about that. Even if there was a minor incident, a sparking outlet or something like that, you can almost rest assured that that person would have whipped out their phone and be like, oh my God, the ship is burning down. Yeah, what were you doing? And yes, everybody's talking about this. There's lots of advice and workarounds going around, but that's why you have me to tell you how to get around this as somebody who doesn't need one. The first thing you need to do is get yourself a high-powered phone charger. This is an Anchor unit. I got this maybe a year or two ago. It has 2 USB-Cs and 1 Type A. When I say high power, make sure it can output at least 25 watts, because you should all be using fast charge capable phones. Now, I don't know if Apple supports the actual fast charging standard, but with this little guy, both of my Samsung Galaxy phones will charge at super fast charging speed, which is between 25 and 45 watts. For certain, the Flip is only 25 watts. The S9 might be higher, I don't know, but it doesn't matter, because just plugging it in as I'm in and out of the cabin will give me a few percentage points throughout the day, and that's usually pretty good enough. Then, in the evening, when I'm turning over for dinner, come back, take a shower, choose a costume, get dressed, get ready. In all that time that it's been sitting plugged in, I'll get 40 to 50% added to the state of charge, which will carry me through the evening. And that's on the Flip 4, and this is the device that I've been using as my primary camera on the last few cruises, and I have not needed an additional battery, maybe twice I have on embarkation day, really, because, running around showing everything. So yeah, get yourself a high power charger, fast charge capable phones, and you actually can get dual, or maybe even triple, but definitely dual charging cables. Yes, so this is a Type A, but it has two USB-C ends on it, so I could charge two devices. This is the one that came with the DJI mic. It works, and yeah, so you can charge two devices off of one plug. Yes, you can actually get these that are, USB-C to USB-C. So yeah, get one of those or get two of those, and that will actually double your capacity. I also do carry extra batteries. This one is, I think, is a 4,500 milliamp battery. This one I've had for a long time. This will charge the phones at least, well, actually, this will charge the phones 3 times, but only in like desperate circumstances, if I'm on a very long flight and there's no plugs. But I also carry this one, which is a MagSafe. So if you have an iPhone thing, whatever. Yeah, this is great for you. This actually is supposed to work with this case on the Galaxy, but the mag part works, but it will only charge wirelessly for a few minutes usually. Okay, now it's going to work perfectly, and then it will just stop for some reason. The issue with this is, with the case and everything like that, it's very slow. So I actually do have a little cable that I use to, go USB-C to USB-C. That works out a lot better. So yes, batteries, and this is the one that I use in the bed at night when watching videos. Netflix or myself. I'm editing videos, and that does take a lot of power. So yeah, this is the one that I use for that. And finally, this is why you really have me, because I have not seen this pointed out by anybody. When you are on the cruise ship or visiting Dollywood, or any other theme park really, turn off battery protection on your phone. So on the Galaxy, it's called battery protection. I don't know what it's called on the iPhone. That's what it is, an iPhone. Anyway, so normally, and you should always have this turned on when you're just about, going about your daily business. I have it on maximum. It only charges to 80%, which is more than I would ever need. However, on the cruise ship or in the theme park, I do want to leave in the morning with a full charge. So I end up just turning it, in this case, to basic. It's on the S4, on the Flip 4, it charges to 100 and then goes down to 95. On the S20, it charges to 100 and stays there. So slightly different implementations. Either way, by turning battery protection off, I leave my stateroom in the morning with a full charge, and that will give me, well, actually, an extra maybe 20% in battery to use throughout the day. And especially if you're going on a shore excursion and maybe forgot your additional battery, because you should always take that with you. Yeah, that could mean, well, I don't want to say it's going to be a life or death situation, but it could save some, well, you know what? It's a lot better to have battery. I don't know. I couldn't come up with anything better to say. So there you go. That's the deal with Royal Caribbean and their all of a sudden ban on multi-plug outlets. Why? Who knows? We may never know. And again, I don't care, but this is what I do to completely avoid this problem. This is the tech that I have that makes this kind of a non-issue for me. Hopefully, a few of these things you'll find useful. And if you do find them useful and your phone, and you do leave your cabin with 100% charge in the morning and I happen to be in the hallway, that would be very creepy. I don't want to see you on board.